There are a couple of things that we have to listen to. And just like how when you read the Bible, you have to make the Bible harmonize. So one chapter and a verse don't give you the entire picture of certain things in the Bible. And we have been listening to the presentations. And we pick things out of the presentation and make them harmonize. And we have come up with this prediction that JPS will get 8 to 10 years extension. And here's why. The Minister of Energy, listen to him speak, and we are going to harmonize his speech with what the Minister of Finance said yesterday at a press conference. And then we might look at Miss Darlene Morrison, the Financial Secretary. Portland Spice TV prediction.
So it means that the JPS has 2 years on a license and they have to raise money to restore. Several iterations, several proposals. One, JPS wants a 15-year extension. And they get 15-year extension, they will do what they need to do to find the money. Other one is that multilaterals are prepared to give them money, but they want at least 8 to 10 years extension. Where does that put us?
So, you hear what the minister said? The minister said, JPS wants 15 years extension and they will just find the money. Or, the multilaterals will lend JPS the money, but they have to get 8 to 10 years. Now, based on what the Minister of Finance is going to say to you next, tells us at Portland Spice TV that the decision to give JPS the 8 years have been made. Listen to the Minister of Finance speak now. Make it harmonize.
John is loan to JPS. The $150 million loan, I know you mentioned yesterday that based on what they needed within the money that we are going to be getting from the international community, there is an allocation for JPS to also get part of that. I think the overall amount I need, correct me if I'm wrong, is maybe $300 million US, I think I heard it said. So they're getting an extra maybe $150 million from this package. And I just wanted to know, since they couldn't get, or the argument was that they couldn't get loans on their own prior to coming into this situation because they didn't get the extension on their license, I wanted to know if now that they're getting this money from the international donors, if that loan was gotten based on a guarantee from the Jamaican government, which would then maybe add to our overall debt. I just wanted to get a clarification on that.
Okay, so remember, in the $6.7 billion that was announced, $2.4 billion of that was earmarked for private sector lending. So any amounts to JPS would be in that window out of the 2.4.
So we don't have to guarantee that debt at all?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, you hear what is happening. They are getting the money, $450 million from the multilaterals. What did the minister tell you? That was one of the options. So obviously, and we've been saying that this is where the government should go. But I am hoping though, that with whatever deal JPS would have agreed to those terms that the minister said that they would not be going into the deal with. So we're going to finish this harmonization with a discourse between Damian Crawford and Miss Darlene Morrison, the Financial Secretary. And we're going to catch up on the rest Saturday morning, right here on Portland Spice TV at YouTube. Make sure you join us.
Can I just indicate that the $6.7 billion that was quoted in the headline on that press release includes some of our instruments, or disaster risk financing instruments that were in place. So the 6.7 is not all additional to what we already had in place. So approximately approximately 3 billion of the that's not right. 3.6, right. Approximately 3.6 billion is proposed new loans to come from the named institutions. That's the CDB, the IDB, the IMF, World Bank, and CAF, for a total of approximately 3.6. They are also proposing to mobilize private investments to the tune of 2.4 billion. And that would represent the new amounts. The rest is our instruments.
The rest you had told us about at the last sitting of the PAAC.
Sorry?
The rest you had itemized at the last
Yes.
sitting of the
Yes.
PAAC.
All right.
So that the 0.7.
Yeah, the
Cal-
0.7 was from the CAT
Okay.
bond, the CRIF, the
All right. So if I can
contingency.
focus on the 2.4, could you explain what is meant by mobilizing investment? Is that a loan coming to the government to unlend, or is that a loan directly to
Right, so
private sector?
That's would be primarily the IMF, the World Bank and the IDB, private sector arms, who generally mobilize money from the private sector in order to lend to the private sector of the country,
So it's private to private.
private to private.
So that 2.4 billion have not been secured.
No,
So,
Not yet.
so what has been secured is the 3.6 billion and the money from
Well,
the insurance.
in terms of on the government side, that is what is in.
Okay, so the headline would have been misleading to say 6.7 billion secured.
You could say that.
Okay, so the 2.4 billion that is to be mobilized, is that dependent on the appetite of the private sector for borrowing?
All right, so I don't have all of those details, so
Okay.
I would not be able to address it.
All right, the 3.6 billion, do we know of the interest rate that is being applied to the 3.6 billion?
No, this is across four or five different institutions. So at this time, we would not be able to indicate.
Understood. The amount, the Minister of Finance suggested that some funds would have been secured on behalf of the JPS from these funds. Is that so, or am I misunderstood?
That's not a correct representation
Okay.
of what she indicated.
Can you clear that up for me, please?
She indicated that the multilaterals could now potentially loan JPS some funds, not that it had already been.
Oh, so the 2.4 billion JPS could apply if it so
I don't know.
decides,
I don't know if it's in that 2.4 billion.
or any other funds that are available. Would therefore the JPS have to qualify under the terms that would have existed?
Cannot answer any of those detailed questions, sir.
I'm sorry, all right. Have you any information about the loan to JPS itself from the government, the 150 million or 23 billion Jamaican?
That negotiation is underway.
So that has not been closed as yet,
It's not closed.
and no interest rate or anything have been identified.
The minister did speak to something yesterday.
Can you remind me if you know what the interest rate is?
5.5.
5.5%. Okay. As it relates to the loan to JPS, are you aware if there were any other method considered, including a government guarantee?
I think you need to address those questions to the minister.
Reasonable. All right. So